I will talk about radio being different from television, where in television you depend on the image or the visual effect for communication or to provide a better understanding. In radio, meaning making rests in the hands of the audience, of the listener. And because meaning making rests in the hands of the listener, that's why last time I said it is important that the one who is producing the content has to bear in mind that, and they have to be to produce it as clear as possible for someone to understand what is happening. Otherwise, there is going to be noise or distortion as far as decoding the message is concerned. So they have to really come up with the content and present it in a way that the one who is receiving it will not find problem in analyzing the content. I emphasize on that. In other words, the one who is receiving the message is as active as the one who is producing the message. That's very, very important. And so, the listener, in what we call media literacy, the listener must be very literate or must be very conversant with not only the message but the tools that they are using. For example, if they're streaming live the content, they have to know that if they switch off their data, they're not going to listen. Like I said, using the internet. That kind of information sounds so basic, but it's still important. At the same time, the one who is presenting has to know they will pass somewhere where the frequencies are going to be bad and they will not be able to get some of the information. So how do you deal with it as the one who is producing the message? This is where, number one, where you try to relay exactly what is going to happen in the program. Which means at least even if somebody looks at you inside the program, they might have grasped what is the program all about, or what is it that you intend to talk about. Also, you remember that I said some of the traits of the radio that some people use it as a background. They use it as a background nowadays. So they are washing their clothes, radio, right? So their concentration is not really 100%. Either they are jogging, radio, or they are concentrating on sweating, but they also want to listen to what is happening. So their concentration is realized. All those things should help you to come up with better ways of getting the content that you want to give. So you realize because it's radio, it's media, always there's teamwork that is involved. The person who is in charge of the team has to make sure that everyone in the team performs to the fullest capacity. Even if you are the owner of the program, and probably your role there will be presenting only. No matter how best you can do it, if the one who is coming up with the things has the volume so low, no matter how good it is, people struggle to hear it. And suppose the volume, but they will not. You're not understanding. So it's your role as the owner of the program to make sure that everyone is doing things in line with how you want it to be, bearing in mind the role that the audience has. Very, very important. Much as it is a team, bear in mind that there is need for effectiveness in production of content. So a lot of people are excited when they are starting the program, they're coming up with the programs. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. They forget a lot of things. And some of the things, just what I've told you, are consideration for the people that are listening, people also forget the mood of the program. The program has to have a mood. Mountain Gadison, she was mostly preaching, that's all. They have their own mood. But when it's entertainment, music, club sweating, then that's it. Siamo per esempio Mountain Gadison. That's not how it is. Because of the mood. It's important that the program has the mood. The mood is what keeps people in shape with the program. The mood is what draws people closer to the program. So you need to create a mood depending on the program that you are producing. All this you realize falls under making sure that you are in line with the audience. Remember, you're not producing this program for you, it's for your audience. That's another point that you shouldn't forget. So it's not only you, it's also for the producer, it's also for the director of the program, it's also for the engineer. They have to know that my program is they are not for us. They are for the audience. Another important that you need to pay attention to is issues to do with demographics. When I'm looking at demographics, we're looking at issues of gender, urban, rural, age, all these kind of things. Are we producing this program for an audience? If it's an audience, is it necessary that we use English community? However, we go for the number. Well, but then I don't report from there. If I look up, see, I can see, we have to learn it. They also ask you that. But it's important that you pay attention to that. Why do you think it's important that we should be paying attention to urban or rural things?
Because there are certain things that like rural people might not understand or get the message. We might talk of something apart from language, but we might be talking about technology that advanced. Urban people might relate to it, but then rural people might not even know what is happening really talking about.
For example, what? For example, what? You could be talking about what that rural people might not understand.
AI.
AI? Okay.
They might not know what artificial intelligence is. Of course, some might have gone to school, but urban people that are getting familiar with AI.
Even elevators,
Yes.
you know. There isn't a lot of top buildings in Malawi anyway, which have elevators anyway, everything was the system worse. So yes, even those kind of issues, you need to pay attention to that. And let me give you an example. At school, whenever I preach or USA, we had probably some 2 or 3 days of preaching. So there was a preacher from USA who came, and he was the one preaching on the first day. He never got a job. So he came, preaching, he's like, I got some job. Talking about things in Texas, well, and that's this, and he said, wow, yeah, we're going to say that to do with that. For us, it's just a story. Because we can't relate. Tigumba, but we cannot relate. It's just a story. For them, it's a job, a very big job. watu mara yangu ya ndio kute. That's how already it is. It's not like I don't want to actually dare to say, it's because of the language and the communication that you are trying to give and dare to say. So you follow that. So as you produce your program, as you make your program, mutu mwako na demographics at the end. Rural. So it's all we are probably with the they are normally now because you visualize everything. You imagine everything. The way your man works, you imagine. All there thoughts, imagine. No, it's not imagination. Your role is to make sure your imagination in the program should fit their imagination. That's your role. That's what you want. The imagination is a mind. Very, very good. So that's why I pay attention to rural, pay attention to urban. Who am I producing this program? Rural or urban? If it's rural, what is it that I should be talking about? What is it that I should be including? If it's urban, what is it that I should be talking about? What is it that I should be including? Gender. Certainly it's hard to just come up with a program for one gender. They are there. Men talk, women talk, and so on. But you just know that you're sidelining a very big group of people. Come to the dinner, they'll be there just for critiques. They can tell I'm open at all. They're just there for critics. They'll be there. But gender importance, they want to address gender in terms of you don't want to cross the line. You don't want to be very opinionated. You don't want to raise controversy. By saying, for example, you are saying, for example, as Miami, they rise to power among Shabako again. That's a statement that will raise controversy. Why? Because they are also as Miami and they rose to power without Ukokere. So you try as much as possible to run away from those conclusions. The hasty generalization. So for A, the hasty generalization is a form of fallacy. Kimanena really blessings sani mele ni Yesu ndio yeye. Ndio maana tundi giba sani mele ni Yesu oye. Hadi hata Yesu oye. That's the generalization. So because you know 2 or 3 women that do whatsoever doesn't mean all women do it. Expression of like the generalization. Expression in a Yamakonda in Amuna as you can do it. I'm going to generalize. All men are done. Yes, it is. Come and be equally. You know what you do. Okay, so those are the issues that I'm talking about. Now, not only that, we've talked about gender, we've talked about urban or rural, but also the issue to do with age. Age, what program am I producing? And not only are we saying, programming your young, this is for all the adults, this is for those in their 30s and so on and so forth. But also bearing in mind there isn't really age limit about therapy. We need to be talking about people are listening to radio as a family, I will see my Victoriana, but I have to teach it. How do you work out your language? How do you work out your language? Ufuna uyavuze into that should feature properly. At the same time, you want to come up with a content that will feature now. How do you come up with a language that will suit all them?
I think you
Simple, it's going to be boring for a travel.
maybe you can mix.
Okay, so how for that? How?
Depending on the show, maybe, you know, we can create some jobs for these ones, for these young people. Then you go and post on, you carry on what you're supposed to. Yeah, just to balance the fact.
That's a dilemma. There is no clear-cut answer for that. It's a dilemma. And yes, they find problems with that. That's why they say, the boy has problem. If they want to listen to it, it's up to them. That's why media entities will run away from this responsibility by saying it's the job of the parents to make sure ratings. They'll say, okay, well, we talked about ratings. We've already told you this program is rated 18. Get 18 plus, that's all. So for the rest, they say, okay, it's up to you. They say, okay, it's rated 18, you will count that as that. That's what they're saying. This program is rated 14. No, it's rated 16, it's rated 6, it's rated 8. They'll run away from that, they'll try to hide behind it. Because it's a dilemma. They say, it's up to you, find control and if you have a finish, you have control. Find control and manipulation. That's what they will say. Because it's a dilemma, a lot of people find problems in trying to figure out which one should we use, which one should we accommodate. What type of stuff, what kind of language, how big should it be? So all those kind of issues will raise some dilemma in finding the best. And the same thing with the kids program. It's the only program probably in Guyana. Some people just go away. Chikwele, for example. On the radio, Chikwele, a lot of people just put their hands up somewhere and they will the whole thing great for itself. But it's really hard for kids. When I told the owners, they want to be there. And sometimes there's something that has been said on the radio, and I know, it's those kind of dilemmas that will play a part in those kind of situations. So you have to note those kind of issues. You have to bear in mind those kind of issues. How to determine what should be presented and what not. It's up to you. But also it's up to your station. Different radios, different radios have their own formatting on how to handle their businesses over there. On how to go about something. They have their own way of doing it. So you also stick to that and you become part and parcel of that. Well, much of many we have to be flexible again. If you go to another radio, they'll also tell you another thing. It's like you're switching. You got Christian radio or Peter radio back. So they say it's just Christ. I mean, see your religion. You got so many, but one Kalama be the religion, or Peter was ready, or else to move up and yes, all those kind of things. So it's also about formatting. So yes, we pay attention to all those kind of things. Also, as I said earlier on, that making of the program is It's not a duty for one person, it's a teamwork. And because it is a teamwork, you will realize there is need for absolute supervision from the owner of the program. In that case, I don't know, it could be the producer, it could be the director, depending on who came with the concept of the program. So that even the production will be examining the audience. Which means even if it's language, it could examine the audience. Yes, program in the other, and there is a solution. However, never say what but still more, program you have to be as inclusive as possible. So if it's a kids program, let the program have the language necessary for the kids. So we're not just talking about big words in the rural one, but no, we're also looking at the level probably of English, we're looking at the level of education, we're looking at orientation, but also when we're dealing with disabilities, it's very, very important as well. You have to be sensitive enough to know what my program, not only a normal the Gorilla, and disability, also what's the language that you use, which they shouldn't feel offended. But now is no longer an example to where you're offended. And some other sensitive issues, for example, issues of depression. Those are sensitive issues. For some people that haven't faced depression, depression doesn't really exist. Indeed, I can know both of that I can't understand. So if you are touching those kind of areas, if you are tackling those kind of points, make sure that you are not running someone's wounds. That's why I was checking and often here, because it's better to come there with facts than just come there mumbling about things that you also don't know. You start creating confusion and opposition. And because you are talking about things that other people don't like, how many of us have so it has a very great effect on the listenership. People stop listening because you said something that they didn't like. I'm not going to say, I really can speak, I'm not something. No, not say you. But say you. So as you think about your audience, because they are not watching the action unfolding, they are creating their imagination. They will follow whatever you're saying. This is what I'm trying to do. It's not really more than what I know. This is what I'm trying to do. When I'm talking about this, this is what I'm trying to make. So this is what I'm trying to make. If you're talking about sensitive issues, for example, rape, all those kind of things, we are levels of business. There's a misconception of being able to be rape, they will stand about it. But we realize there are also women who are raped. So those are very sensitive topics. When you are approaching them, you need to approach them with care. Very sensitive topics. Approach them with care, but also objectivity. Making sure that you understand the points that you are talking about. Very, very important. What could be other things that you need to approach with absolute sensitivity, apart from the ones that I've just talked about?
Well, I think
What?
objective training.
Objective, for example?
Like issues that concern women. Objective training. There are issues like
I did an example, like a clear example.
I think when you're talking about politics, you say the government has passed a certain law that maybe affects people in a way, but then we might be making it saying it it's fun. Yes, it's going to affect everyone. Like, okay, maybe they build